Hello everyone, and welcome to another Showdown video here on our YouTube channel. My name is Ethan, I'm Lord Tupperware, and I think that's Mr. Metronome passing directly to us. That's always exciting when that happens. So this is going to be a fun one for you folks here, I think. Got some choices here between a fairly powerful but fairly mana restrictive rare in Casualties of War, a Planeswalker that's gone down in my estimation, but it's still fine, but it's in, it's flexible being a hybrid colored card, but is still not something I'm crazy about. Some really good commons in Bloomhulk and Tamiyo's Epiphany, but I think the winner here is going to be Jaya's Greeting. Now I know Ben, to my right, loves red, so I'm going to be aware that we may get pushed off of this. I'm also going to be aware of Charmed Stray as a card that I love and a card that I think is real in this format. So I'm just going to be aware that that's there. Try and count some cats as they go around the table if it's open, if it's something we want to move into. But we'll just start with the cheap, efficient removal spell in Jaya's Greeting. And a pretty clear follow-up here for me, as the best card, in my opinion, far and away, is Aven Eternal here. I have that as the third best common in the set. Nothing really much else to speak of. If this weren't here, I'd probably be pretty sad, and then I'd be looking at Bloomhulk, maybe trying to wheel a Crunch Wrangler or a Kiora, or maybe just sticking with red and take Honor the God Pharaoh. Not much to be gleaned from what Ben's done, considering a rare is out of the pack. So we're just going to grab Aven Eternal here and see what the turn brings. Again, like I said, I think Ben really likes blue-red. He's drafted it a bunch. I mean, both he and I are pretty high on the Grixis color pairs in general. So I may need to be a little bit more creative. That's another reason why I want to eye those Charmed Strays, is that's something I really like to do in white. That's a pull into white for me if I'm tracking those and they're coming around late on the wheel. All right, best cards in the pack here for us are Leyline Prowler and Lazotep Reaver. So really not much to speak of otherwise, I would say. Nothing really in blue or red. Turret Ogre and Kesmia's Transmutation, not going to be things that I want to take. This is kind of tough because the upside on Prowler is so high, but the flexibility on Lazotep Reaver is also quite high. So I think this is sort of a toss-up. How am I feeling here? Firemind Vessel could wheel, depending on how people at the table are evaluating it. We could take Prowler and probably wheel one of the three black cards, like Spark Reaper and Vraska's Finisher. I'm not really counting Davriel's Shadow Fugue as a black card, so maybe one of those two wheels. But there's also a reason, like, could take Reaver and do the same thing. I think that I may need to draft the old black-green goodies, though we did send the Casualties of War down the line. This is tough. I'm going to take the Prowler. This could be a total mistake on my part. And here we see not really much black or green, and I'm going to be regretting my decision here, I think, pretty quickly. Jace's Triumph and Tybalt are the two cards I'm looking at here, with a slight nod towards Guild Globe as a fixer. I'm going to regret not taking that Lazotep Reaver for sure. I'm going to take the Triumph here, I think, over the Tybalt. I just feel like red isn't open right now, and I don't know why, and I don't know what would make me think that. So we've got a rare, an uncommon, and a common missing out of the pack. Tough to know what that means in terms of, like, these two cards being past us. Like, this isn't that huge of a signal. This is essentially just a divination because the Jace Clause doesn't matter. And is it really better than Tamiyo's Epiphany? Probably not. Maybe actually I'm going to take Tybalt here. And yeah, I'm going to take Tybalt, I think. That's a really tough pick. Okay, so now we're seeing a Pledge of Unity. Like I said, I mean, I may be leveling myself with Ben being to our right, but like I said, I'm going to be aware that Ben's going to prefer Grixis colors as well. This also seems like a bit of a signal for this kind of deck, and I would be fine scrapping this stuff if a good green-white deck presents itself to me. I don't feel like I'm missing out on a ton. Guild Globe could fix my mana depending on what shenanigans I end up doing. Like, this feels like this is the higher upside pick, and this is the more responsible pick, it feels like. I'm not really in the market for an on-crop invader just yet, though it does work nicely with the Tybalt. Spellkeeper, Weird, and Finisher, and Shriek Diver are all medium. So for me, it's between Pledge and Guild Globe. I'm gonna hedge on the Pledge, as we say in the biz, and see if maybe Ben's in some Grixis colors if green-white is open. It just feels a little late for this kind of card, and boom, we get a second one. I feel like I'm being pushed into a certain archetype here, so I'm gonna take Pledge number 2. Try and back it up with some other cards, but as we see, like, not really seeing any red, not really seeing any blue. I mean, there's some blue, like Skullcore's fine, but these aren't good cards. Like, the best card in this pack is Pledge. So we're probably scrapping the rest. Not really going to matter that we passed up on the Lazotep Reaver. And so what I'm looking for here with double Pledge, I'm obviously looking for things that care about life gain. Like, the problem with green-white is that it is pretty uncommon based. You know, you really want Huatley's Raptors. You really want a Johnny's Pridemates. I'm going to pray that Charmstray wheels out of that first pack. All right, Pollen Bright Druid, what is this? 7th pick is amazing. It's really good with Pledge. So the thing that you really want in the green-white decks, if you've listened to our episode on that archetype, is you want to have things like Pollen Bright Druid or Huatley's Raptor in combination with Pledge of Unity, because what you get to do is when you get 5 mana, you get to cast Pollen Bright Druid. With the Proliferate trigger on the stack, you cast Pledge of Unity, put a counter on everything, and then the Proliferate trigger resolves, and you get 2 counters on everything, which is pretty amazing. So I'm going to do that. We got one more pick, and then I'm just keep my fingers crossed for this Charmstray to come on around. And it's pretty interesting that Ben gets to just sort of like ship us green-white. Again, like, this pack is pretty bad, and I don't hate Samet in a green-white aggro deck. I mean, you know, obviously I'm a little nervous about trying to hedge into white, and we're not really seeing a lot of good white creatures. Like, we're not seeing a lot of good white commons, which is bad. You definitely don't want to be trying to compete with someone else at the table for white cards, but I'm still going to take it here. Again, I'm not seeing any really good cards otherwise other than, like, Skulker and Visionary. So, and I'm just going to here where let's pause, let's take a deep breath, and it didn't wheel. Wow, someone took Charmstray from us. That's pretty savage. All right, well, if it was Ben, I'll find out. I'm going to find out. You know, it might have just been someone across the table. And also, we haven't seen any in, you know, packs 2 through 8. So it may mean that someone else is trying to stake their claim doing that as well. I'm just going to grab this Enforcer Griffin. All right, Martyr for the Cause is an unexciting card, but it's got some synergies with the Pledge counters, and it's a 2-drop for us, so that'll be just fine. We passed up on that Snare Spinner, is that what it's called? Yeah, Snare Spinner. That card is not a card that I like very much at all in my main decks, especially not in an aggressive deck. I don't want to be playing cards like that. So here we're looking at a Defiant Strike and a Return to Nature. You know, unless we sort of open a, what's it called? Like a Feather. Like, you know, we could pivot into a Naya deck or a red-white deck. You know, we've got the Greeting. It's very possible. Return to Nature is not a card that I've sided in very often, so I'm totally fine to just pass up on it there. If I need one, I'll get one. I'll take the Crovad here. Another sort of path that I think green-white can go down is a Huatley deck. So if we end up getting a Huatley, you know, Arboreal Grazer's playable there, we could find our way there. So it's I would say a pretty bad pack 1 for us. Really disappointing. Boy, howdy, is that an open. This is tough. This is tough. I think, you know, we could take Living Twister if we were thinking about going more Naya. Or we could just take Evolution Sage and stick to our guns. I mean, Sage with the 2 pledges, with Samet, with Pollen Bright Druid, with the future counter synergies that I think we're going to want, and with the idea of staying green-white, I think Evolution Sage is a better pickup here, though it's pretty bummery to have to pass the Living Twister. You know, what would our deck would look... Our deck would just look worse, I think, if we tried to go red-green, though red-green with some fixing for the pledges and even an Enforcer Griffin isn't crazy to me. But I think this has to be pretty close. Like, if this is an A-, this has to be probably a B or a B+ potential in this deck. So I'm going to take that here and just try and stick to green-white goodies. And be pretty sad here, as I'm going to take a Jaya's Greeting and think about red-green. Or at least green-white splashing red for some removal. We'll see what happens. best card in this pack is a Gleaming Overseer. If Ben is in blue-black, he's going to be pretty happy about that card. If he's in red, he'll be happy with Jaya. And otherwise, he'll be probably pretty sad. So we'll take the greeting here. And we miss again. And there are not cards I'm seeing that I'm excited about, like even splashing for. This is a very bad draft so far. Yikes. If we think we're hedging towards green, we could take Turret Ogre. If we think we're going to be splashing around, we could take an Elite Guard Mage, but I don't think that's what I want to do. I could take a War Screecher as just a 2-drop. That's like fine to have and kind of scales with the game. I think that's what I'm in the market for, is just the War Screecher and hope that things work out a little bit better. And these are just some weak packs. But that could be wrong. Not really sure what else I'm supposed to be doing here. All right, there's a Wanderer's Strike. That's a breath of fresh air that has some synergy with us. We might wield this Rising Populace depending on what folks are doing. We might wield Saheeli Silverwing depending on what folks are doing. But I'm going to snap up this strike here. I'm going to keep eyeing. So there's a 10th District Legionnaire. There's also an Iron Bully. Divine Arrow is not really what this deck wants. I'm going to take this Legionnaire, and we may need to move into red-white, which will make me very sad, or some sort of Naya garbage. But that seems more powerful. Like, is that better than taking Guild Globe for the splash? That I don't know. Is it better to take the fixing or take the card? I'm not sure. I mean, we really only have the Defiant Strike so far for it. So maybe it's not even that good. And we should just take Guild Globe to start to enable some Jaya's Greeting splashes. Maybe that's better. Oof, I don't know. Red did not seem that open in pack 1. I'm going to take Guild Globe. All right, Wanderer Strike, Trusted Pegasus, and Courage in Crisis. I'm feeling good about not taking a red card there. I'm going to take Pegasus here. Pegasus number 1 over Wanderer Strike number 2. I think we need bodies. I think the evasive threat is going to be good. We really need to up our creature count here if we're going to hope to do anything that's anything. I also think Grazer isn't the worst when we've got double Pledge of Unity, but gonna try and okay. All right, Feather, I see you. So we're gonna be in the market for a pretty deep red splash, it looks like. I'm gonna take this Feather. We'll see what happens. We're missing out on an Enforcer Griffin and a Mana Geode, but I'm gonna grab this and try and enable some splashing if possible. There's Giant Growth and there's Makeshift Battalion. Giant Growth, nice with Feather. And just like a nice cheap trick, but it's really not what you want. And then Battalion, I think, is better as just let's get a body in this deck. There's a possibility. All right, we got another Griffin. We'll do that. There's a possibility. What's a possibility? What is it? What do you think that red-white 2-drop could wheel? It could. With that late Feather, it really could. Let's take the Griffin. Take a sad Loxodon Sergeant here. Probably playing Defiant Strike if we're playing Feather. And if we're playing Feather, then we're probably playing the 2 Jaya's Greeting. So, like, this is the maybe package here. Wow, this is one of the toughest drafts, and I'm going to end up in a deck that I don't particularly like. So moving into pack 3, I think we're deciding if we want to be red-white or green-white, which is kind of crazy. We need to pick up Fixing, because I think either way, if we're red-white, we'd like to splash at least these 3 cards. And if we're green-white, we'd like to splash these 3 cards. So Fixing in the form of, New Horizons, Gateway Plaza, another Guild Globe. A Mana Geode I would settle for, but not be happy with. Paradise Druid would be the best. And obviously more 2-drops, please. So, really difficult draft. Be curious to see how maybe Ben would have navigated, or you folks at home. Leave us a little comment. And I'm going to guess we're waiting on, yep, Old Mr. Metronome. Old Mr. Metronome taking his damn sweet time. Well, I'm going to have a nice sip of my refreshing iced coffee here. It's interesting. It looks like maybe the person to our left or close to our left took... all right, I'll take a Turret Ogre. I wonder if that 2-drop wheels. All right, there was another Griffin in this pack. Take a Blind Blast, I guess. That cantrips with Feather. maybe the red white 2-drop's probably not wheeling is my guess, even if red white is what we're supposed to be doing. I mean, if it does wheel, that'll be a pretty strong signal. I'm just wondering about green. You know, we saw the too late pledges, which means like green white is open, but that doesn't necessarily mean that green or white is open. And I'm wondering if the person to our left or close to our left took casualties of war and then moved in there. It's tough to say, but my guess is that Ben is in blue black. That would be my thought at the moment, just because it feels like Naya is more what we're working with here, and we didn't see. And after that Aven Eternal, and the Lazarus Reaver, we really just didn't see any good blue or black, and we saw some like filler blue commons, but not a lot of the top three, right? The Aven Eternals, the Callous Dismissals, the Tamiyo's Epiphanies. Didn't really see those. I hope Ben approved. It did wheel. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay. And a Goblin Assault team. Okay. So we're pivoting pretty hard, I think, into this. And hopefully we can still play the pledges, though we may not even need to. Like, does anything get worse here? Like, Martyr gets a little worse. Battalion doesn't get that much worse. Yeah, maybe we don't need to. And we probably play Tybalt in this deck. What a hard, weird pivot into red white. And then we won't even need Guild Globe because we're probably not splashing. Obviously, we'd probably hope to not play Loxodon Sergeant. Blind Blast is also a consideration because it just cantrips with Feather or works well with Legionnaire. I'd actually probably play that at this point. And then just look for more 2s and stuff. I don't know. This doesn't look like a terrible deck. Getting the Feather late and 10th District Legionnaire wheeling seems pretty good. And we get a Grateful Apparition here, which, like, doesn't do a ton yet. And I mean, still, we could still keep an eye out on splashing these, remember. And maybe even this. But I'm just going to take this Grateful Apparition and be grateful for taking it. Solar Blaze, the Butt Wrath, as people have coined it, is not really going to be for us, I don't think. Even though, it's fine. We've got some creatures that survive it. The Feather, the War Screecher, the 2 Enforcer Griffins. Just not really what we're going to want to be doing. We'll take the Apparition here. Look out for, some ways to get counters on it. Iron Bully, Teo's Light Shield, that sort of thing. Wheeling this Plaza would be the best option for us. Nothing else really that I want. Not even a Huatley anymore. I don't think that's going to be what we're working with here. So we'll take the Apparition and see if we can't get hooked up this pack. Ooh. Oh, white rare, anyone? Parhelion 2. I think that's going to be a pass for me on that card. And the question is Jaya what we want? I think Jaya is what we want. Jaya with Tybalt is really strong. Gives us a bit more like proliferate stuff that we want to do. Blind Blast deals 2 damage. Jaya's Greeting deals 4. Maybe we bring in the... Actually, the Assault team isn't the worst with wanting to get counters on stuff. Like, I might even consider playing that. But I'm going to take the Jaya here. Might wheel a 3-drop here. I don't think I want to play Populous. Makeshift Battalion I probably would play depending on what our curve ends up looking like. So we'll take Jaya here. What is Ben talking about? Holy cow. I can't wait to watch his video. Probably a bunch of why me picks here. This is kind of a swing and a miss for us. Whoever's got the Casualties of War is going to grab this Death Sprout. For the old red-white player here, I think we want Silverwing. I'm still not convinced that Divine Arrow is a card that this deck wants to play. And I'm not even sure Silverwing is a card that we want, but I'm going to have to nab it here. Sargon's Catharsis, not a card I'm interested in. Blind Blast number 2, not a card I'm interested in. I really just want 2-drops and ways to target these 2, and maybe even another one of these to make, Defiant Strikes better cards, etc. So that would be nice. Heartfire, Invading Manticore, another Divine Arrow, a Mayhem Devil. Good God. And Bond of Discipline. I think Heartfire is the pick here over the 6-drop. I don't really have things that make tokens, unfortunately. So I don't know how good of a card this is going to be in this deck. I'm just not convinced. Maybe I do. Maybe I want the 6-drop instead. I mean, Manticore is good. That's 6-7 of stats over 2 bodies is nice. It's really nice with Samet in play, getting them both as hasty critters. Yeah, I'm not convinced about this Heartfire. I mean, it's good, but with only 10 creatures and nothing that makes multiple bodies, I think I want the Manticore here, actually. Which feels bad to say. All right, there's a Light Shield and another Wanderer's Strike. So a Light Shield helps me get counters on Apparition. I've got a little Proliferate shenanigans there. I get Proliferate shenanigans there. Otherwise, we're taking another Wanderer's Strike. What's our removal suite looking like here? It's not too plentiful. It's basically Wanderer's Strike and Jaya. How many 5-drops do I want is another question. And this is a 3-drop, but it's a defensive 3-drop, so is that good? These are all questions to which I do not know the answer very well. There's also the possibility of take the Strike, wheel the Martyr. I'm going to go with my gut, which says we need more removal here, and I'm going to take the Strike. I know that's this is not a pretty curve for what's probably supposed to be an aggressive deck, but whatever. All right, nothing much here. A couple more red gold cards. I feel like these packs are just not breaking well for us. I know I'm going to get as soon as I talk to Ben, he's going to be like, my deck is nuts. I bet that's what he's going to be like. All right, so we take another Martyr here and kind of be sad about it. I think I'd play this Assault team at this point. And there's a Teo. Oh, God. Teo. I bet if the 10th District Legionnaire was open, I mean, we're seeing a lot of these red and white gold cards, but we're not seeing the ones we want. And we're not seeing any good green cards, so it feels good to have moved off of it there. I'll take another, I don't know, Loxodon Sergeant. I'm not even playing the first of these. I'll take Teo. We're not playing any of those other cards. Probably have to play Silverwing at this point and then look for upgrades. So we have another Martyr and 2 Iron Bullies. I like the Bully here. I like having we didn't pick up that Light Shield. I like something that's going to put a counter on stuff, especially something with Grateful Apparition. Really sucks that we only ended up with Defiant Strike and Blind Blast to target our 2 creatures. That feels pretty bad. But what can you do? Take the Iron Bully, probably. Oh, wow. Lazotep Reaver Wield. Holy cow. Well, guess I'll take a Samet Sprint and probably play it. And then we got to make 2 cuts. Or get another Battalion if we want it. Not sure we do. And another Blind Blast if we want it. Again, actually, I'll probably take Catharsis if we need a way to kill Planeswalkers. Got another one anyway. I think I will play another Battalion. We have enough things that say Proliferate. And I think I'm not actually sure what I want to cut here. Maybe the Ogre, maybe the Assault team, maybe the Silverwing. I actually think we don't need Silverwing, considering we have the 2 Griffies. And maybe we're cutting. I think we could get away with 16 lands, considering our deck has nowhere to put mana. Just go 8/8. So I think I can get in Defiant Strike cantrips and Blind Blast cantrips. So then I just need one more cut. And then I'm looking at something on this top end. Maybe Goblin Assault team isn't that necessary, considering. Still like Tibalt and Jaya together. I think I like all the spells. Our removal is actually pretty good. I mean, double greeting, double strike, Jaya. I don't know if I counted the greetings when I was looking at the removal before. I think I'm going to cut the Assault. Well, the thing about the Assault team is that it puts a counter on something, which is, again, good with the Martyrs and good with the Strikes. So I like that possibility. I think I do want this garbage card with Feather and the District Legionnaire. Could see cutting War Screecher. I don't think I can cut a 2-drop, though. Maybe I just cut this Manticore. Yeah, let's just do that. We'll cut the Manticore, cut the 6-drop, go 8/8. There's also a possibility that I'm supposed to cut Samet. But I think it's going to be good. I mean, we're going to be an assertive deck. We're going to scry a little bit. I think we can cut it if we're on the draw and we think it's bad, or if it's bad in the matchup. But I think this card is going to be good here. But we'll see. I'd also like to kind of prove Ben wrong with it if it does its thing, because I think he's kind of low on it. I think it's better than he thinks it is, but we shall see. All right, that was a tough draft to navigate. Looking forward to a sweet match against Ben. See you there.
All right, what's up, everybody, and welcome to our May Lords of Limited Showdown video. My name is Ben Warney, and drafting here with Ethan, who we are passing to, so this should be especially sweet, because we get to anticipate sort of what we're passing to him and what he's going to be taking. So, lucky us, we opened God Eternal Oketra, hashtag Prince format, but not really. This format, I think, is pretty based on the commons and uncommons and a lot of synergy between the commons and uncommons. I think the tools are definitely there at common and uncommon. If you build your deck well, have a lot of good early meaningful 2-drops and removal to back them up. So we're shipping along. Next best cards in the pack are probably Aven Eternal, then Bloom Hulk, and then it gets pretty murky after that depending on what Ethan first picked. I would expect Ethan to take Aven Eternal out of this pack, probably regardless of first pick, unless the first pick was a green card, in which case I think you can make a case for Bloom Hulk. But let's get our God Eternal Oketra in here quite happily. Also sweet that we're not passing a lot of other white. Okay, this pack is pretty good. Leyline Prowler, Paradise Druid, Lazotep Reaver are the cards that stand out to me. I think Paradise Druid is just the best of them. And, you know, if we have to, green-black, try to splash God Eternal Oketra is a fine place to be. Green-white, I have not drafted yet at all in this format, I don't think. Maybe once. I have PTSD a little bit from Sealed. Green-white really struggles just to beat a Vraska or any Death Touchers that clog up the ground. So I'm not super fond of it, but we'll go wherever the draft leads me, and if the draft leads me to green-white, we will be there. I would expect Ethan to take Prowler or Reaver. I mean, everything else is sort of replacement level in the pack, which is a little awkward because those are the colors we might want to get into. So Paradise Druid in. Okay, no white cards to speak of here. So tough draft. Best cards in the pack are Tybalt and Jaya's Greeting. Also a Guild Globe, nothing super exciting. There's a Spellkeeper Weird and a Jace's Triumph. I think we're taking a card of another color here. I mean, there's no green or white cards for us. I think I'm going to take Jaya's Greeting over Tybalt. It's close. Tybalt's got a little bit higher upside, but not in red-white necessarily. I think the ability to clear out blockers is pretty great, and the 1/1s often don't pressure your opponent a ton. Tybalt's at its best in blue-red and black-red, I think. So I'm going to settle on Jaya's Greeting here because I think it pairs better if we end up going green-red or red-white. Would expect Ethan to take Tybalt, although he might be deep into blue-black-green at this point. I don't know. All right, 10th District Legionnaire. Are we really going in on red-white? Is that where we're at? Red-white Oketra? So there's Pledge of Unity. I'm not a huge fan of that card. I do think it's fine, but you already have to have a board presence with green-white, and if you do have a board presence with green-white, you're probably winning. Like, green-white loses when your opponent removes your creatures, and Pledge of Unity doesn't do anything to help mitigate that problem. There's also a Guild Globe. There's just not... This whole pack is pretty flat in power level. There's nothing that stands out. I think the best cards are Pledge, 10th District Legionnaire, Spellkeeper Weird. Ethan's also not getting super clear signals from us because we're not getting clear signals. So and we don't know what Ethan's first pick is. I am going to take 10th District Legionnaire, I think, here. Yikes. So there's a Pledge of Unity. That feels a little bad after passing the other pledge. Blue's also flowing. No red here to speak of at all is a little scary. This is a tough draft. A really tough draft. So, Pledge is the best card in the pack. No red makes me think maybe we should be moving off of this Greeting and 10th District Legionnaire. I really want to play Oketra. And we're seeing some amount of white. I kind of just want to take Pouncing Lynx, even though I'm not super high on that card, to lock up a white 2-drop. And that is a good card if you can get counters on it in green-white. Maybe we wheel these pledges. I doubt it, but ooh, all right. That's going to settle me into green-white. Take this over Pollen Bright Druid, and going to be really unfortunate if Ethan has moved into green-white underneath us for those. It feels pretty tough. I would expect Ethan to be more in black-green at the moment. Or some sort of Sultai combination. We've passed some blue as well. So let's get these in the sideboard. Take a Huatley's Raptor. And maybe there's no way we're wheeling Pollen Bright Druid, right? Maybe we wheel a Crunch Wrangler. Let's take a Huatley's Raptor. I think we take a New Horizons now over Samet. That also gives us options to splash Jaya's Greeting if we want to. Gets a counter on whatever to start proliferating. Lets us splash. I think this just leaves us more flexible. And we already have 3 good 2-drop creatures, which makes New Horizons feel a little better as well. And maybe I gave up on red a little too soon. I don't know. So again, we're passing some blue to Ethan. My best guesses for Ethan are still that he's in Sultai colors. Okay, feeling pretty good about this decision to move into green-white. Green-white does seem like a super sweet home for the Charm Stray deck. I think I'm going to take a flyer on here. This is my second Charm Stray I'm going to pick up. We joked on the podcast. I had 0 at the time we recorded the podcast this past weekend. But I think I'm going to speculate on one here, because if it's going to be good, it seems like it's going to be good in green-white. And I don't think I'm going to miss an Enforcer Griffin or a Snare Spinner. So let's take Charm Stray. Wheeling an Arlen's Wolf or a Martyr for the cause. I think Arlen's Wolf's just enough of a better card than Martyr that we want to take it here. Really need to find some band-togethers for this to come together. So late Vraska's finisher, I'm going to take that over Defiant Strike. I don't think we're going to miss Defiant Strike, and there's some sliver of a possibility that we end up going into like black-green splashing all of the stuff. And Vraska's finisher is not even great in that deck, but I think it's the most playable card here. I have a feeling Ethan's in green too, which probably does not bode well for pack 2 for us, but maybe we cut it enough there late that he moved into blue-black instead of black-green. Let's take a Crovod, I think, over Topple. I just want a Topple, actually. I don't think green-white is interested in a 2/5. Alright, Grazer or Crovod. I think we want Crovod. Let's take a Naga turn. Actually, I think it's more likely that I try to get into blue-white and want a Kasmina's Transmutation. I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility either. Blast Zone Foil. I don't think that's worth anything, but let me check real quick on GoatBots. Blast Zone. It's worth 350. It's a Dread Horde Invasion. And a Trusted Pegasus. So this is sort of decision time. We didn't see a ton of black in pack 1. No, that's not even true. We got past the 2/3 lifelink. Question is, how good is Dread Horde Invasion in black-green? That's gotta be the color pair where it's at its worst. I think I just want to take Pegasus here and hope, but that also feels a little awkward. I think that's what I'm going to do, though. Wow. Living Twister, Pollen Bright Druid, Arlen's Wolf, Ashiok. So Ethan took an uncommon here. Really wish Living Twister were green, green, red. I guess it would have been way too easy to splash. But it doesn't really go in... I mean, it's a great card in red, green, but it doesn't go along with what red, green's trying to do. So it feels like it would have been a cooler card in the format if it had been green, green, red. With what we got going on here and what we've committed to so far, I think Pollen Bright Druid is the pick for us. So let's get that in here. Almost certainly another green-white drafter also by passing those 2 gold instants. Looking like that might be Ethan based on this pack. That's a bit of a yikes. We drafting green-white next to each other? That would be hilarious. There's a Venerated Fire Mage here, which I think we're going to take. We also could still just try to play Naya Stuff, which is not a great deck, but... And or we could try to hope to pick up more New Horizons to splash our God Eternal Oketra. Mobilized District is fine, but I don't think we're going to miss it necessarily. Like, we're already going to be attacking, beating down on the ground. So I think I'm going to take a flyer on Jaya and see what's going on there. We also could still pivot back into white-red. We'll be pretty light on playables, but it's not out of the realm of possibility. So let's take Jaya and see what's up and hope Ethan and I didn't train wreck each other. Uh-oh. Fasten your seatbelts, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be a bumpy ride. What is Ethan? Ethan must be drafting green-white? Oh, no. Okay. I mean, pack 3 is not going to go well for Ethan if that's the case. Do I take Davriel here? Would you have 2 drops? I don't think we're going to miss a Snare Spinner. And maybe we could try to get into green-black splashing the Oketra, or green-black do all of the things. Elite Guard Mage feels pretty hard to cast. Maybe that's not even true. Let's try to get into Bant. We have a New Horizons, we have a Paradise Druid. And we have... I think we could be more of a Bant controlling deck with God Eternal Oketra. I think we take a Silverwing over a Populous here. What a draft. This has been messy as heck. I really am curious to see what's going on Ethan's side over there. He's probably just going to be in this Focus 2 color deck and just smash me, but I feel like I've bobbed and weaved pretty well here, and we've just not been presented with a clear lane at all. So let's take Silverwing over Populous. It's a 4-drop we're guaranteed to play. 10th District Legionnaire or Divine Arrow or Iron Bully. So what happens if we try to get back into red-white? We're so light on playables. It feels like red-white is not happening. I think we just need to pick up all of the green fixing we can, gateway plazas. We just can't pass fixing anymore, I think, is where we're sort of at. And we play base green-white, splashing everything we can. So we want Divine Arrow here because we're going to try to build a control deck too, I think. So let's Divine Arrow. All right, Wanderer Strike's a very nice pickup. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of ways to get counters on things to begin with, which is a little awkward, so maybe we won't be much of a proliferate deck, but Huatli's Raptor is still just a fine statted 2-drop. Callous Dismissal would be a nice pickup, but again, still probably looking to be base green-white. So it looks like Ethan maybe has shifted into black-green? I don't know. We should theoretically get hooked up in pack 3 with green-white, though, because that's what we read was open, and we have not passed much of it here. Let's get Wanderer Strike in. Mana Geode is a gift. Let's get that in here. And then we've got a Jaya we can splash. We've got a Guard Maid we can splash. And might even probably get Jaya's Greeting in as well. And then stuff like this Pouncing Lynx and Trusted Pegasus will just potentially be a little awkward. Happy to pick up Mana Geode here. Similarly, we'll take a Giant Growth for the sideboard. That's a good way to blank Obnixilis' Cruelties and things like that, I found. Would love a Tamiyo's Epiphany or something along those lines. Also, this has been a tough draft. I'm really curious to see where Ethan's at. Let's get a Crovod in here. We already have a Crovod in the board. Maybe we should take a Totally Lost. I don't think there's any world where we're going to want to play 2 Crovods. Maybe against a bunch of Bloom Hulks. But are we ever really splashing for Totally Lost? And it feels impossible for us to get into blue as a base color at this point. So let's just take a Crovod and cut white. And let's take Return to Nature for the board. Snare Spinner's not the worst pickup. Ignite the Beacon. We have 1 Planeswalker at the moment. Alright. Maybe if we pick up some other Planeswalkers in pack 3. I was a little panicked there, like at the beginning of pack 2. I think we're going to end up with a playable deck here. We already have 3 sources of fixing. Gateway Plaza would go a long way. Another Paradise Druid would go a long way. Another Jaya or a Band Together or a Parhelion 2 is kind of interesting. I bet we wheel the Parhelion 2, or at least it's got a chance to wheel, and we might play that card? I don't know. Right now, I think we're deciding between Band Together and Jaya, and I think our creature count's high enough that we just want Band Together. Green is the color we know we're 100% base to be. So let's get it in here and pass the Jaya. Despite that being like sort of appealing because we have an Ignite the Beacon, but getting 2 of the same named Planeswalker also is not the most exciting thing on the planet. So Band Together, get in. Got a fair amount of removal. Fixing is really what we need. Oh, baby! Ignite the Beacon, get in. Wow. All right, feeling great about moving into green. Okay. That's a bomb. So all we need is fixing at this point, and we are good to go. Like fixing and removal. We have plenty of power. Would not hate a Tamiyo's Epiphany or something along those lines. All right, Nissa, get in. Hashtag Prince format. Arlen or Divine Arrow or Vivian's Grizzly. I was actually like fairly impressed with Arlen last night. I played against 2 decks where Arlen was really good. And I don't know if it was just because my deck was kind of bad that Arlen seemed so good. But I have a newfound appreciation for Arlen. Arlen also makes Ignite the Beacon a lot more playable. And we have enough early creatures that I don't really feel super pressured to take this Divine Arrow. So I think I'm going to take Arlen to try to make our Ignite the Beacon better. I kind of like that. Let's get Arlen in here. We've got a stew going now, ladies and gents. Okay. Mo'u's fine, kind of clunky. We honestly wouldn't even have to splash. We're kind of just like green-white good cards, not even green-white proliferate so much. Green-white bomby bombs. So Centaur Nurture is going to provide good early D. Lets us splash the Guard Mage, Fire Mage, and Greeting. Wanderer Strike feels a little tough. We're already really clogged at 5. I think I just want Centaur Nurture. Would love to wheel Martyr for the Cause. I don't think we're going to miss Mo'u here. We've got power other places. Just want to make sure we don't die. The 3 life is nice. Helps get us towards 5 mana. Not really what you want to be picking up here, but we said we wanted fixing. All right, similarly, I think we're taking Tamiyo's Epiphany here. This is a little sketchy since we already have Ignite the Beacon to go find Planeswalkers, but Tamiya's Epiphany means we can pretty comfortably play 18 lands, which is something I think I want to do. And then, what's our removal situation like? We've got Divine Arrow, Jaya's Greeting, band together. Wanderer Strike. So we have 4 removal spells, one of which is sort of unconditional. I mean, it can't hit Planeswalkers. We could get Kasmina's Transmutation in if we needed to. Yeah, I think I like Epiphany here over the Domri's Ambush, and then hopefully we get some more defensive 2-drops. Like, this deck's much more interested in Snare Spinner than Pouncing Lynx. We're hoping to not play Pouncing Lynx at this point, and I'm also not thrilled about this Trusted Pegasus, so our creature count is kind of awkwardly low at the moment, but I do think there's some filler green and white cards we could wheel. Gideon's Triumph's a great pickup, and looking like we read green-white correctly, so feeling good about the decision to move into that. Just pack 2 was a little dicey, because we sent some funky signals to Ethan also by passing those green-white gold cards. No idea what his deck is, and I'm not even going to guess at this point. Let's get Gideon's Triumph in here. All right, I think we take another Centaur Nurturer, which feels a little sketchy. But I think, like, Paradise Druid ramping us into Nurturer, we kind of get to do whatever we want here. Man, this deck would have killed for a Gateway Plaza. We just didn't quite get there. I don't think we're going to miss Martyr for the Cause. Or Iron Bully, for that matter. Huatli? That's a spicy one. That's also the latest Lazotep Reaver I've ever seen in my life. So Huatli's kind of interesting with our 4s. And it's another Planeswalker to go get with Ignite the Beacon. I'm kind of into Huatli here. We just need to wheel some garbage 2s. Bulwark Giant with Huatli. Don't mind if I do. I think that's better than Battalion and Pouncing Lynx. Stinger's a nice pickup. Grizzly's also a great pickup. Pouncing Lynx for the board. Actually, am I ever playing 2 Pouncing Lynxes? Maybe. Much more likely than I want to cite in 2 Kasmina's Transmutations, I think. Grazer? Is this a Grazer deck? This might be a Grazer deck. Alright, I'm really pleased with where we're at here. If you can't tell, we got bomby bombs coming out of our ears. Okay. What spells are we keeping? Band Together's a little loose, but I kind of like all our spells. Band Together is the one that's first on the chopping block for me. Trusted Pegasus, this deck does not want. I like all the 2s. Arboreal Grazer is probably going a little deep. Now we're down to 13 creatures. Arboreal Grazer is also cute with God Eternal Oketra. I think we can probably cut Silverwing. So Arlen's Wolf is also not really what we want to be doing. Kind of a non-bo with Huatli. Huatli might be going a little deep. I think we can cut Huatli and just leave this as our Planeswalker package for Ignite the Beacon. Which is pretty slow, but I think that's fine. We don't need Bulwark Giant then if we cut Huatli. And I do like the Jaya and the Jaya's Greeting. So we have, how many ways do we have to fix? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 free sources of everything. So we don't even really need to play any islands or mountains, which is pretty nice. I kind of think our deck wants 18 lands. Could see cutting Band Together. I think I want to do that. And I think I want to cut. What's the last cut? Feels tough to cut a creature. Could be Silverwing. So much power on the top end. Yeah, I think we do cut Silverwing. Just feels a little weaker than everything else. And then we run 18 lands. Feels like flooding is one of the only ways we can lose, and we have Tamio's Epiphany. Although we have, I don't know, we have the Druid, we have the 2/3 drop things. Maybe 17's enough, and we run Grazer? Or Trusted Pegasus to pressure a Planeswalker as like a creature that can help make some of our stuff relevant, that can pressure a Planeswalker early. Because if we have 18 lands and the Geode and the Horizons, we've got 20 mana sources. We are a little bit up a creek without drawing Ignite or Tamio's Epiphany. And we don't have a lot of repeatable places to dump mana. I think I'm going to go with this for now. And save this. And we'll see you guys on the flip side for our matchup against Ethan.
All right. Ooh, I won the die roll. That's good news. That's good
How
news
lucky for you.
Very lucky for me. Ben and I were just talking about how hard that draft was.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see what you're in. I think here's my prediction.
Yeah.
I think you're in like some sort of green, some sort of sulti-colors. Maybe went into green white from the 2 green white gold cards I passed you, and then I think you sort of cut me out of green in pack 2.
So I'm a mulligan this hand. The 2 Pledge of Unities I hedged pretty hard on for green white.
Yeah, and then I moved into green white underneath you.
And then I didn't see any green from the left, so I didn't cut you off of green.
Oh, okay.
I took an Evolution Sage, pack 2, pick 1, and then nothing good happened for me in green.
Yeah, I had a really rough draft. I ended up in base green white. Are you also base green white?
I'm just mono white, baby.
Mono white, huh?
Yeah. Get got, son.
Okay. I got.
Boom.
That was a nice sigh there to set it up.
Unmulliganed.
Unmulligan.
Um,
Get got. You're so excited.
I was excited.
Snare Spinner down. That card's very integral to the success of my deck.
Sure is.
That's awkward.
Give me a 3/3 menace. You won't.
I won't. You're right.
You won't. Yeah, and then that what's it called? That 10th District Legionnaire wheeled. It made its way back around to me at the end of pack 2, and I was like,
well, I also had speculated on red white in pack 1. I took a 10th District Legionnaire in pack 1 and felt like I got pushed out of it.
Well, you did. Yeah, that was a really hard draft. Not happy with how things went. But I have to see your draft. I'm curious about passing the Pledge of Unities and then moving into green white. Or not just green white.
I was specking on not just green white. We got a stew going over here. Not just green white.
Peggy.
Here go.
Interesting, as we say. All right.
Jamming, huh?
That is some loud F6ing you're doing over there.
Is it? I just assertively press the key.
Well, if that's what you're doing.
Feel confident. Ooh, I like that.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Let's do that.
That makes sense.
What does this do? Put 3 +1/+1 counters and up to 1.
It's all good things. Okay, yeah, nothing's bad.
I just wanna see, so we can do it on any land. Let's do it here.
Plain Jane
And
Plains.
let's say go.
Go has been said.
Go has been said.
Alrighty. Oh. Ah. Okay. I'll think about this. Gotta think about this. So I think we pretty clearly just have to do this here.
You leave my Nissa alone. Don't be mousing over my Nissa.
Though it's possible this is better later for this purpose, but maybe that just doesn't matter. Maybe we can just, and also for this purpose, let's think about this. So I can go dupe, dupe, dupe.
3 dupes. You've only got 2 cards in hand.
I can go dupe, 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 get a dupe.
Oh, so the dupes are the attacks. I got it.
Oh no, I don't even need to speak in code. So we can attack with these 3. Get a dupe. I believe this will happen. So what if I'm Ben? Well, what do I do there? I probably go crunch there, and crunch there. That's not very good.
For you?
No.
Good.
All right. Well, so maybe it's better to do this now, and then this. Yeah.
You want to go in the tank? Do you want
No. I'm so, like I think this is pretty clear what's happening for our viewers. I'm not.
that my Nissa's crushing your soul?
Yeah, I mean, like it's a Prince format, you know. So like you play a bunch of garbage cards and then you play Nissa and you're gonna win. So that's fine. I just a question about if we're doing this or this.
Just for the record, Ethan's being sarcastic.
I'm being sarcastic. It's not a Prince
Not a
format.
Prince
Nissa is a really good card. It's warping the game right now, but like I don't.
Nissa is one of the best.
I'm not. I don't feel like I'm out of the game yet. But if I don't deal with it soon, I will be.
Like Nissa's on Oketra levels of good in this format.
Yeah, I agree.
Like I think I would take Nissa over any of the other God Eternals.
I don't know. I'm not interested in talking about that right now. I'd like to try to distract me with this theory crafting here. All right.
All part of the plan.
So, all right. So now I think the decision is this or this. That's the decision. And I think weirdly it's this. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
It's a tough call there if I'm supposed to do that like
Pre or post combat?
pre or post combat, if I'm supposed to kill the flyer or not.
Yeah.
It's hard.
It's hard. I agree.
All right.
Seems fairly okay for you.
It's okay. Not the best.
All right. So seems pretty good for you.
Okay. That's good to hear.
Block. Chump. Block. I think. Yeah. Boop, 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 boop. And you proliferate. Yeah. Yeah, this is what I want to do.
Okay. Could have not attacked with the martyr as well. but I think it makes it. I think that makes it better. It's still okay.
I think attacking with a martyr was good for you.
Okay. Go ahead, sir. Ah. Well, that's bad. I gotta. That sucks. I gotta keep the flyer.
I think so. I was hoping to nab the flyer.
Oh, so if I hadn't attacked with.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. This still is bad for me. Like, you're cracking me for 5. Nissa's still alive.
And I'm digging pretty
and
hard.
And you're digging with Vivian's Grizzly? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's not good. But what are you doing with all that this is good for you talk? That seems...
selling. I was just selling the Gideon's
you don't need to sell anything. You don't need to sell anything. You're fine.
All right, deck. That's enough of that.
Make sure your reveal thing is like in your hand, over your hand window.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we just bricked on 2 lands.
I mean, yeah, whatever. That's fine. Didn't need you to.
Well, you would see also that we hit something, right?
Right, but I wouldn't know if you. Yeah, whatever. So, what you brick on is not. Oh, sweet. This is great. I'm gonna just get you all out of your white mana for the.
Oh, they have vigilance.
Yeah.
So I just punted. I could have untapped a forest and dug again.
Yeah.
Oops.
Oops.
All right. I'm gonna sit
I'm
down.
gonna do this. I'm not sure I do. Okay, go. I don't really see the upside to doing that, but maybe I'm supposed to. Clickety clack.
Clickety clack. Ooh, okay. We whipped again.
Ooh. Ooh, okay. No cards revealed. Great.
Yeah. Classic.
Classic.
All right, let's go digging again. All right, I like that. Wait, what? Where'd it go?
Did you click on it?
I did.
It's gone.
What the heck?
What just happened? If it's a
I don't know.
creature or planeswalker, you may reveal it and put it into your hand.
I didn't do anything except click the card.
It's karma for your Gideon's Triumph.
That was
shenanigans.
Backbreaking. Holy cow. What did I do to deserve that? What just happened?
File for reimbursement.
Let me look at my game log here. What the heck? That was really weird. I didn't say no, I don't think. I got to go back and watch this VOD. Oh, but you can't see. But I'll be able to watch the replay? Huh. That was brutal.
Sorry.
Okay. And let's jam.
Oh, I know why I should have done this last turn. And I hope I don't get extremely punished.
All right, let's say go.
All right. Not punished, phew.
Okay. Okay. Let's it down. I like that.
Yikes.
1, 2. Done.
Yep. Pretty good magic card. That
Pretty
old Nissa. You don't want to get. You're not distracted by Tybalt?
Not distracted by
Why
Tybalt.
not? He's over here. He's so shiny. He's a planeswalker. Anything's possible with a Tybalt. Yeah. So many Wanderer Strikes in this draft.
So you can eat Chump potentially.
I'm not dead. That's for sure. I'm not dead. Now am I dead? Ah, Grizzlebees. Okay.
Click a card, reveal it, and put it in your hand. Click. So I must have said okay instead of clicking the card
That must have been it.
last time.
Watley's Raptor. Jeepers creepers. How is that fair?
It's not. It's not.
I did my best. I did my best.
Attack you, attack you.
Oh. That's interesting. I'm not sure I love attacking with the Grizzly there.
Yeah, maybe it's a little aggressive.
I think I have to do this.
Okay. Okay.
All right, yeah. Had to hope that you whiffed there. I don't think I have anything that, yeah. All right. GG's.
On to sideboarding.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are sideboarding here after round 1, where we somehow managed to put Elite Guard Mage on the bottom of our deck with Vivian's Grizzly. I think I hit okay instead of clicking the card, ultimately was what did it. So there's Bulwark Giant. I kind of like Watley, although Tybalt shuts down our life gain. That could be really annoying. Band Together seems pretty good against what Ethan's got going on. It seems to be a fairly straightforward red-white deck from what we saw there. So maybe we just don't need, like we have plenty of power, we don't need the Ignite the Beacon. It's so strong to have a second copy of Nissa though. So the flyer was a problem. We don't have any way to deal with flyers in our sideboard other than Band Together. I think I'm into that. Over what though? It would almost have to be over Ignite the Beacon. Is that worth it? I don't think so. We have enough removal, I think. I'm not sure that we want to sideboard anything. And we kind of have our curve about as well as we can. Giant Growth, I don't think we need. I think I'm just going to run it back with no changes. I think we're fairly well set up against Ethan's deck. We have the double Centaur Nurture to slow things down. And raw power level, we have to have higher card quality than him, I've got to assume, based on what we passed. Unless he just got the nuts in pack 2. So I think we're just running it back.
All right, here we are for sideboarding for game 2 against Ben here. What did we see? We saw Nissa, which is really hard for me to deal with, so that may make me bring in one of these two. Catharsis. I don't think I want anything like this. I don't really need to be defensive against him, I don't believe. Flying seems quite good against him. I know he's got the Snare Spinner, but I think this may be better than some derpy like Turret Ogre. So I'm going to bring that in. The 4/5 might be good as well, but I like the Flyers. I like Jaya. I honestly like Blind Blast too. I like Peggy. He seems pretty soft to Flyers. I think we're pretty unlucky to have not drawn some of our Flyers, or either of our Greetings there would have done some strong work. I think Samet is probably bad. I don't want to go crazy with bringing in this Catharsis, though. Like, yeah, this is a problem. But maybe on the draw I bring it in. I'm going to be on the play again. I think I'll just try and curve out. We mulliganed as well, but then, we unmulliganed with the Defiant Strike. The Assault team could be bad, too. Just didn't see a ton of creatures from him. We saw Peggy, we saw the Death Touch. We didn't see anything that like makes multiple bodies. He's out of the amass colors. We might have some Pollen Bright Druids floating around, but I think most of the time Assault Team's going to 1-for-1 with him. So the question is, do I still want Samet in or not? And if not, do I want to bring in something else? I'm thinking no. I'm thinking I just want the Samet here. He had good removal though. He had one Wanderer Strike, I guess. I don't know. I'm inclined to keep in Samet and see what happens. I'm gonna run it back like that. All right, I got the play again. Let's try and make this a worthy fight here. I will keep.
I'm also gonna keep. I'm not thrilled about this though.
Neither am I.
Glad to hear that.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm honest with you. I don't do games like
lies.
Like
you
Gideon's
totally
Triumph.
debated me there to set me up for the Defiant Strike.
You were blocking anyway.
I was blocking anyway, but you sold it pretty hard.
Yeah, well, I am an actor.
All right, here you go.
Interesting.
Worried about little Gideon's Triumph over there?
Yeah, I am. But I think I'm just gonna make you have it. Yeah, that's fine. Caw!
Aw, that's gonna kill me.
I hope so.
Okay. That here.
Okay.
Hopefully you don't have combat tricks to go with that.
Yeah, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna be a real goof.
Did you side in Demolish? I will lose my mind.
No, I'm just giving myself a little upkeep scry here.
Oh, okay. Very cute.
I'm a cutie.
We're all very impressed. If that's your best play this turn, I'm thrilled. I was going to be so tilted if you demolished me.
Why would I side in Demolish against you?
I don't know if you...
I saw... What to do what?
Mana Geode?
That's... That, yeah, no, I'm not doing that, buddy.
Okay. Let's do this.
Oh, so very nurturing. Okay.
So nurturing, much nurturing, very life gain. Okay, accept. No blocks. Hashtag Prince format?
Yeah, this draft was hard for you. I see that.
It was, I swear.
No, it seems really hard. Seems like it was tough to like figure out what you were supposed to do. And like Wow.
Can you sense the outrage over there, chat?
No, it's just I like wanted to like I thought I was having an honest conversation with my friend about like having it be a tough draft, and it was clearly not. You just opened like two of the nuttiest cards in the format. What is hard about this? There's nothing hard about this.
It was difficult, I promise.
I don't believe you for a second. All right, sweet. Well, GG's.
Good games.
Is that even good here? No, right? I mean, I don't know. Let's pull up this and see what is there any way I could sculpt the top of my library? Like, it would involve this. I don't think this matters anymore, so I'm gonna bottom that. Okay. Cool. Well, that's certainly better. Binning a land and all right. I understand that it may be fun to watch another turn of this for some folks, but I'm gonna preserve some of my dignity and ship it over to Ben. Look at you crawling back 4-3.
Oof, slowly.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll catch you next month for another video.